Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. as we get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us on the radio at iacradio.media. We are now brand new Fox News affiliates. Glad to be back with Fox again. It's always been a fun run. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast at thenewscasters.com. Again, it's always good to be with you. Send emails. I love them. I'm the nerd who loves to do research and hang out at the library, so send more messages. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. AP Steadham is our sports guy, and he is with us right now. AP, we're getting a whole lot of emails about sports, about gardening. What's a seed? We get all those kinds of things right now. People are just into it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's so good to be back with you again today.
Hey, Donna, good to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I always enjoy our conversation, and I'd love to have those questions through the email by your audience.
Oh, yeah, we got the world's best audience is what we say. And I think they're absolutely fantastic. Again, that's Donna at donnasedge.com. Oh, and by the way, AP, do you check your spam? I check it daily because I
I
get
do.
great messages from our folks, and sometimes they wind up in the spam bin. So I do check those as well.
Yes, absolutely. You have to check every part of your email to make sure you're receiving all the communication. I'd recommend it highly, 100%.
Absolutely. So what's going on in the world of sports this week?
Hey, Donna, we had a nice event happen yesterday. The College Football Hall of Fame sent out their 2025 ballot. That's from the National Football Foundation. And there's 77 players at the FBS level, which is the SEC. And out of those 77 players, Donna, there are 17 players from the SEC on the ballot, and there are
Wow.
4 SEC coaches. And we'll go over a couple of the players. I'll just say there's 2 from Alabama. We can mention them all because they're all great ball players, and it's one of the most difficult ballots I receive every year because I have to vote for, I think it's 10 or so, and then there's a coaches category, and then there's the other level of football, FCS and below, and then also the coaches from that category as well. But it's a very difficult ballot because all these players, they were All-American, some of them Player of the Year in their conference. It's very challenging when you're trying to come up with just 10 candidates or so from a list of 77. So
I would bet so, because I mean, and we have some great players out there who are putting their all into it. So what would you think is the top 3 ways to be actually on the list?
yeah, for instance, I'll just give an example. We'll start alphabetically. Alabama has Mark Ingram. He won the Heisman Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on the list, along with Chris Samuels, the offensive lineman, who won a lot of individual awards as well, and All-American. So those are 2. And then a person people might know, Nick Saban's on the ballot right away since he retired. So he's on the ballot, as the coach from Alabama and the coach from LSU. Those are the 2 SEC affiliations. So that's going to be interesting. Is he going to make it on the very first ballot? Will he make it? And I'll probably have to try to do some research to see what coach made it on the very first ballot. Because I didn't even think that he was eligible at that point. I thought you had to be retired a certain number of years, but I didn't realize that as soon as you retire, you can be on the ballot. One of the other coaches on the ballot is Urban Meyer he coached at Florida in the SEC along with Ohio State and Utah, and so he's on the ballot. And then another coach is Jim Carlin out of the University of South Carolina. He coached at South Carolina, Texas Tech, among some schools, but he had all those wins with South Carolina prior to the Gamecocks being a member of the Southeastern Conference. But those are the coaches that are on that list. Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, Jim Carlin, and also Tommy Tuberville is on with Auburn as well. He coached at Auburn and Ole Miss. So those 4 SEC related programs have those coaches on the ballot. So and I'm not sure how many. If there might be a maximum on the coaches list how many can be voted in 1 year, Donna. So that's going to be interesting.
Well, do you think Tuberville got it because I mean, he's a good coach, but do you think he got it simply because he's in politics now?
He had some, good years at Auburn, so and Ole Miss as well. So I don't know. I don't know that answer. I couldn't say. I don't think so. I don't think so, Donna. I really don't. Yeah, you have to be in the coaching category, Don. You have to have a minimum of 60% your winning percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're eligible, and he did some good things at Auburn. Mm-hmm. So I don't think so, Don. I really don't.
Well, that's amazing. Now, who is someone who didn't make the list you think should have?
Oh, that's a really tough question. I haven't had a moment to think about that one, Donna. But I would say that I'll just give you an example now. There are players on the list who have won the Heisman Trophy, and it takes them a couple of tries to be inducted. That's how difficult it is, Donna, in this list. You can win one of the highest awards in the country, and you're still not voted in the very first time. Mm-hmm. Just to give you an idea. So even though Mark Ingram's on this list, I don't know if he's going to be selected on this ballot.
Right. So at this point, he's on the list. So what's the next step?
Oh, yeah. And there's thousands of voters down. There's at one point, I knew there was over 100 chapters across the country, and anybody could join. You could go to the National Football Foundation and be a member and join. I forgot the exact how much it costs exactly to be a member and join, because you'll be affiliated probably with a local chapter. Mm-hmm. But the uniqueness about this vote down is thousands of voters. It's not like, for instance, pro football. There's, I think, 48 Pro Football Hall of Fame voters. So that narrows it down. But this is thousands of voters across the country. And then it goes to a panel in Texas, the National Football Foundation. They sort things out and come up with the number of players and coaches from all levels who shall be inducted. And then, Donna, they're introduced normally at the championship game at the FBS level. They usually have a handful of those who received enough votes. They don't have all of them, but they have a handful of them to appear. Like, for instance, this year, the championship is in Atlanta. So you'll see the inductees in Atlanta. They'll introduce them on one day before the game or the championship game, and you'll get a chance to meet them and speak with them as well. But that's how it's done at the National Football Foundation and College Football Hall of Fame. And then during the season, what happens is once you find out those names in January, then the National Football Foundation will honor you at a game at your school. And then also they used to honor all of the inductees at one of the bowl games. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it was a Sugar Bowl. So you're honored 2 or 3 times during the year before your induction, which will be in Las Vegas. Now, Donna, that big banquet used to be held at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City. Mm-hmm. And that's in December, usually the first Tuesday of the month. It's after the championship games of the SEC and the various leagues. So a lot of the coaches would attend that meeting up in New York. But the last 3 years, it's been at a site in Las Vegas. This year, I think they're going back to the Bellagio. Hotel. So it was at the Aria, the Bellagio, back and forth. So I think this year, the Bellagio. So, but it's a fabulous banquet. It's a black tie affair. A lot of fun. I always enjoy attending. And this year, I know one player, Antonio Langham from the University of Alabama, Town Creek, he's going to be inducted. I don't have this year's list in front of me, but I know he's one of the SEC players that will be on. I think Tim Couch, maybe Kentucky, I think he's on that list as well, but I don't have that in front of me. But it's a fun event if you like to see college football All-Americans and the inductees and then former players who had been inducted and all the coaches. There's quite a handful of coaches that will be at that event, and because it's 2,000 people down at a banquet. How many banquets do you attend? It's a couple thousand people, 1,500 to 2,000 people. Very
Very.
rare, right? That's a
But
huge
I
banquet.
find it interesting too that they moved it from New York, especially in December. I would think Vegas is a much better spot. I'm thinking weather. You know
Right.
how
Yeah.
Southerners are.
I think December in New York is a lot of fun down because of the
Well,
Christmas. People
Christmas.
are shopping and have all the decorations and being at the Waldorf. That's a famous place. But it happened during the COVID. They couldn't operate there,
Mhm.
so they made that move 3 years ago. I don't even know if they even had it during the COVID. They might not even had that down. To be honest with you, during the COVID, but the Waldorf was not the place, so they moved it to Las Vegas. I don't think they're going to move it back.
It's like a lot of COVID was just not fair. Like I got the Golden Mike Award, and it had to be done virtual.
Virtual, right?
It was the
Yes,
year
virtual, right?
2020, and I was like,
Yes.
oh, but at least I got it. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you got it. So, but I can give you. I just going to run over some of the names, Don, if
Yeah,
you wanted to hear them. And
yeah.
we started with Alabama, those three, but Saban is Alabama and LSU. But then Arkansas is Wayne Martin, defensive tackle. Auburn has three players on the ballot: Greg Carr, the linebacker; Ed King, the offensive guard; Takeo Spikes, the linebacker. And then you have Florida has Alex Brown, the defensive tackle; Brad Culpepper, and then I mentioned Urban Meyer as well, the head coach. And then Georgia has Garrison Hurst, the running back, and Richard Seymour, the defensive tackle. And then you have Ole Miss, as I mentioned, you have Tommy Tuberville. Of course, he's with Auburn and Ole Miss. Then you have offensive lineman Terrence Metcalf and Michael Orr. He's an offensive lineman. Now, Michael Orr, Donnie, you remember he was in that movie, Blindside, right?
He should get it.
That was his story, right? That was his story. And then
Uh-huh.
LSU has Alan Fenica, the offensive guard. Missouri has the defensive lineman Justin Smith. And then Tennessee down, and they have three people on the ballot: Willie Galt, the wide receiver; John Henderson, the defensive tackle; and then Larry Severs was a wide receiver. And then you have South Carolina Jim Carlin, as I mentioned, the head coach. But Donna, one other person on the list is former Oklahoma quarterback, the current head coach of Tennessee, Josh Heupel. So
Hmm.
Josh is on that list to possibly be inducted as a player. So that's kind of interesting. But just to discuss the ballot, Donna, when you have three people on the ballot, I think there's a tendency to split the vote. And so sometimes they won't get in because they have three people from the same school on the ballot. I think, and I don't know this, but I think it's probably better to have the one person and try to get that one person inducted. And then the next year, hopefully, if they get inducted, you're trying in the next couple of years to get the other individual. But, I'm going to try to pay attention this year and see if Tennessee's able to get one of those players inducted because they have three people on the ballot. Like I said, having more than one, Auburn's got three players, so on the ballot. I don't know if I think that's a slight disadvantage with the voters, but I don't know.
What about the Wishbone Boys? Any of those guys ever been inducted?
Let me see. Out of those Wishbone Boys, yeah, Ozzie Newsome was inducted, the wide receiver. Dwight Stevenson was the center. Johnny Musso was the halfback. And I'm trying to remember on the offensive side. Yeah, I think that's the only ones from the Wishbone Boys, I believe, that were inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame. I think so.
Okie doke. You know something? It's time to go into a break. Can you believe this? Let's go into a break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Everybody hang around. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. as we get to ride home with you in the afternoon. I have everybody's favorite talk show host when it pertains to sports, and probably even more than that. So I've got AP Steadham with me right now. Also, he is a talk show host of AP and Kelly as we see it. So what's going on with that show?
Yeah, Donna, I love when the college football Hall of Fame ballot is presented every year. And we're going to spend a majority of the time, I think, this week on the show discussing some of these candidates from the SEC, the players and the coaches, because it's such an awesome event when you see the families that are able to attend, Donna. So I really take it seriously, my vote, and I just have a lot of fun reminiscing about some of these players from the SEC and around the country. Like I said, there's 77, Donna, players on the ballot from around the country, and they're tremendous. It's so difficult to come up with the 10 or so that you have to vote. And then now you have these coaches on the ballot. And I think we get to vote. I think on the coaching side, I think we have to select 2, I think. I'll have to double check that, but I think we get a chance to select 2 max. I don't know if we could select more than 2 in the ballot. Maybe I just when it comes around, I take care of it. But off the top of my head, I can't remember. But that becomes difficult sometime as well. And then you're trying to vote. And at the lower level, Donna, they don't have 10 players inducted. It's only a handful, couple. That's it. So that's really difficult if you're a player below the FBS level to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame through the National Football Foundation.
Well, somebody's going to ask. I'm going to go ahead and ask it for them right now before they even send the email. So they're probably thinking about it right now. So is there ever a case of a tie? And if so, what would be a tiebreaker?
Yeah, Donna, that's a good question. I don't know. I'd have to ask some of the people in Texas who manage the voting. But with thousands of votes, I'm going to say no. But when it gets to the committee, maybe they have some people that they consider equal and they have to make a decision. But that's something that they would know because it's not something that's made public. So we're not able to find out that type of information.
I think it's a good question. Somebody's going to ask it, so I'm shooting it out there already.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I did have a question about, and this was sent from Dixie, and Dixie wants to know what your thoughts are about, are you seeing Tennessee as being possibly one of the blowouts this year?
Does she mean, is she a Tennessee fan, or she's a fan of another team that's going to?
I think she must be.
Yeah. Well, I'll answer it two ways because I don't know. But if she thinks that Tennessee is going to get beaten by 30 points again this year, I'm thinking no. Missouri beat them 36-7, and then Georgia beat them badly in Knoxville as well. And the other loss was down at University of Florida in Gainesville, if I recall. And then they won the bowl game with Nico, as they put him at the quarterback position for the bowl game. They won that. So I'm thinking that Tennessee had some hard lessons they learned last year when they were defeated by Missouri, nearly 30 points. And then Georgia just came to town as a rival and just rolled them. So I'm thinking no. And now if Tennessee is going to beat some people like a blowout, there might be a team or two on the schedule that can expect a blowout. But I wouldn't see too many in the SEC really. No.
Absolutely. And Daryl had a question too. Now he didn't send his list, but he wants to know who your top three are in the SEC.
Yeah, right. Top three in the SEC. Well, Georgia is the number one team right now.
No doubt.
Because they returned their coach. Tremendous talent, as good as anybody in the country. Then the second team, I would say right now, Donna, I'm going to point towards Texas. I think they returned their quarterback. Steve Sarkisian seems to have recruited well. He's acquired players, very talented players in the transfer portal. So I'm going to say Texas, number two, and then number three. Right now, at this juncture, I would say I'm looking at, Alabama, because they returned their quarterback, brand new coach, but he knows how to win. I think that Alabama's a team that could be number three. And then I'll give you a number. At number four, Donna, you're looking at maybe an LSU, a Missouri. Then you're looking at probably Tennessee, Oklahoma. After that, those types of teams, Kentucky is in there after those teams. And after that, Don, I'm not sure. Texas A&M has a new coach. I think they'll do better this year with that particular coach. He's coming in from Duke. Although Texas A&M, Donna, opening game as they host Notre Dame. Donna, here's an interesting scenario. I think one of the best first week game situations. Riley Leonard from Bear Oak, Alabama, was the quarterback at Duke. He transferred to Notre Dame. He's still trying to get healthy, but his coach, Mike Elko, became the new coach at Texas A&M. So Notre Dame plays Texas A&M the very first game. So the former quarterback will go against his former coach in the very first game down at College Station.
That is awesome. Something, Eric had a good question, and this is, who is your Who do you perceive as the underdog of the year? Somebody that is nowhere to be seen, but they could actually emerge. And he doesn't want to limit this just to the Southeastern Conference.
Oh, okay, sure, okay. I'll start with the Southeastern Conference. Let's say if Tennessee has a good year at the quarterback position, it could be a team to watch, I would say. Donna.
Tennessee is one that I don't know. For some reason, I'm always looking at them. I don't know if it's because we have so many Tennessee fans here. And
offensively, he's a good coach, Josh Heupel, but you still need that quarterback on the field to execute your plan. And I just have a feeling that their quarterback, Nico, will be better. So Tennessee could be a team that could challenge. I don't know if they could come in first, but they could surpass a few teams that I mentioned that were ahead of them. And then nationally, Donna, let's see what I think Penn State can do in the Big Ten. They've had good seasons, but they can't seem to beat Ohio State and Michigan, especially in the same year. I don't even know when that's happened last. So they had a good season, 10-2. They got beat by Ole Miss in the bowl in Atlanta. But let's see if Penn State can win one of those games. And then if they can win one of those games, maybe they run the table 11-1, something like that, get in the playoffs. So let's say Penn State. I mean, and that's a blue blood school, top 10 winner of all time. But I'm just saying they have trouble beating Ohio State and Michigan.
And there's still a lot of variables out there. I mean, so many things can happen because everything's not really locked in place yet.
No, it's not. So, the roster still can change. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. 1 minute left in this segment. Can you believe that? How would you like to end the show today, AP?
Okay. Yeah. We're just, we're going to have a pretty big discussion about the College Football Hall of Fame. Excuse me. Donna, I just want to tell people I'll be speaking down in New York, Mandeville, Louisiana on the 11th. June 11th, there's a chapter of the University of Alabama down there. They asked me to speak. So it's the North Shore Tide. You can look on their website. If people want to attend, they're going to be in the area. So June 11th, we're going to speak in Mandeville, Louisiana.
Absolutely. AP, thank you so much for being on the show with me today. It's always a pleasure. And by the way, you can find AP and Kelly as we see it right here at this station, IC radio station, Football Friday at 4. I love Football Friday at 4. I know it's all year round, but Football Friday at 4. So you can't forget it that way. And that is Central Time. Some of you have missed it thinking it was in your time zone, but it's at Central Time. AP, again, thank you so much. And thank you guys so much for watching. It's always a pleasure. Take care. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
My Towels solved a problem that we've all had with towels. You go into the stores and they feel lotiony and soft, but then you get them home and they wind dry you. That's why I made My Towels. They actually work, they're soft, and they absorb. And now I'm excited to announce 2 brand new lines of My Towels. What makes them the best towels ever is they're now made with 100% long staple Shapir cotton. This is a combed ring spun cotton that makes My Towels even softer and more absorbent than ever. And now you get a 6-piece set for an amazing introductory sale price as low as $29.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get My Towels for only $29.98. Or you can get my designer premium line for just $20 more. Either way, you save 50% now on all My Towels. They actually work. What a concept. This offer won't last long, so please order now.
mypillow.com